Hello, my name is Blake Roney. I'm one of the founders of Nu Skin Enterprises. What began in 1984 in the living room of an apartment has evolved into a global organization involving over 750,000 distributors in 50 markets worldwide. It has always been our mission to improve people's lives through our products and our opportunity. And thanks to the tireless efforts of our wonderful distributors, I believe we are accomplishing that mission. Now, if you were to ask me what my formula is for success, that's a question I can answer more easily. In fact, I have published the recipe for any and all to duplicate in their own lives. It's called simply the Success Formula, and it is a proven recipe containing specific ingredients that have been organized into 5 key success drivers, which are dream, set goals, believe, take action, and lead. The video training series you're about to experience is the realization of a goal my fellow co-founders, Steve and Sandy, and I have shared for many years. It's a collection of the best principles and practices we've utilized in building this organization. I'm hopeful you will be able to use this information in the building up of your own business and in the pursuit of happiness throughout your life. I'm confident that if you will truly participate in the Success Formula and embrace the principles taught, you'll see immediate results in your business and in your personal life that will become a permanent part of who you are. It's my privilege to introduce to you the Success Formula.
Remember when you used to dream about all of the things you would do when you grew up? The things you would accomplish, the way you would make the world a better place, the places you would travel, the wonderful life you would give your family. It's not too late. Your dreams are still there, waiting for you to make them a reality. It all begins with determining your dream and deciding what you really want and where you want to go in life.
One element of the success formula is that you need to know what you want. My belief is that people do get what they deserve, and they tend to get what they want out of life. And that one of the limiters of success is that limitation of never really sitting down and defining, what do I want my life to stand for? What do I want to achieve in my life?
I think it's really critical to have your dream life in your mind so that you're constantly adjusting and designing your business in such a way to accomplish that, because you could very easily be highly successful and not accomplish the lifestyle you really want to accomplish in your heart.
I believe that the pursuit of your dream is what brings you happiness. As long as you're working towards a positive thing, something that is going to enrich your life, enrich others' lives.
Once you define your dream, the next step is to gain clarity, because clarity will help you discover the resources and opportunities needed to make your dream a reality.
Clarity means refining your vision and your hopes for the future as specifically as possible. The more precisely that you can envision, the more likely it is you're going to end up where you belong.
Well, you can say, I wish I had this, or I wish I had that. But to really sort of compartmentalize your dreams. What am I hoping for myself physically? What am I hoping for myself spiritually? What am I hoping for myself financially? And if you post those as pictures, just images on a board, and you look at them every day, post them all over your house, so that when you look at them, you can remember why you're working, why you still feel good when you get a no, perhaps, or you have a bad day. You look at those things and realize that those things are achievable.
Also, ask yourself, why is this goal important to you? To support your dream and the steps necessary to reach it, you must make sure that your goal matches your values and the person you want to become.
When we're trying to pick our career, everyone tells us, well, you should do what you enjoy. And, frankly, that confused me when I was younger, because I liked snow skiing, I liked playing basketball. I wasn't going to make money from either one of those things. And really what they should be saying is you need to do something that matches with your values.
When we were a young company, Blake and I sat on an airplane flying somewhere, and Blake asked me the question, how much money do you have to have in the bank to be rich? And so we had a long flight ahead of us, so he and I each started kind of working out the arithmetic. Well, now ask me the question today, what is rich? I think the first thing that would come out of my mouth is that rich doesn't have much to do with money or assets or toys or lifestyle. It has to do with the feeling you have inside surrounding the contributions you're making to life, the lives that you're positively affecting, sometimes the lives that you're saving.
Well, I would say that when we first started this business, myself, Blake, Nedra, we were all struggling with who we were going to be and what we were going to become. Just as each person that comes into this business has that same experience. You come into this brand new business and you see people that are better at it or people that have gifts that you don't have, and you say, oh, I could never do that, or I could never speak in front of an audience with a microphone. But the beauty of network marketing to me is it allows people to discover their personal potential, the things that they didn't even know about themselves.
The final component of fulfilling your dream is believing in your potential. Belief in yourself is the number one ingredient that will make it possible to accomplish your dream. When you tap into the unique potential that you possess, whether you realize it or not, enormous power is released that can turn your dreams into a reality.
Hidden within each of us is the ability to do something more with our lives. And it's up to us to make that decision to do it, and then through Nu Skin, they have the vehicle to do it.
Almost everyone has potential to accomplish great and amazing things, but they have to make that decision themselves. I haven't met very many people who don't have what it takes. Pretty much everybody has it.
When somebody looks at the business and sees, the challenges that are here and say to me, I don't think I can do that, my answer to them is, so what? Of course you can't do it today. A brain surgeon can't perform brain surgery in his first day of elementary school either. These are skills that can be acquired.
If you're doing something all day long that's not important to you, doesn't contribute to what's important to you, then you're on a dead-end course.
Anybody can do this if they can just tap their innate skills and then go out and apply themselves.
If you work hard, I truly believe that your dreams can come true, because I know it happened for me, and I'm just an ordinary person.
It's time to define your dream and start the journey that will make it come true.
All these things have to be designed around your values, your passion, what's important to you in life, so that you can kind of go that extra mile that's required to have success that people living average lives don't have.
In our first segment, we explained the importance of determining your dream, clarifying your dream, and believing in your potential. Now, it's time to take the next steps toward turning those dreams into a reality. First, make a list of your lifetime goals, in any order. The important thing is to put them in writing.
I think that you have to start with, what do I really want? What are my wants? Before you can just determine purpose or passion, what do I want to see in my life a year from now, 2 years from now? Where do I want to be? And then you can say, all right, how do I get there?
There's something magic that happens when you write a goal down, and I've experienced this personally. Many years ago, we wrote down goals concerning Nu Skin that were unrealistic, frankly, at the time. We had no reason in the world to believe any of those things could occur. They were sort of pie in the sky almost, but we wrote them down. And it was amazing a number of years later to accidentally come across that paper. And we had done better than all of those goals. I know that when you don't write a goal down, you're almost certain to not accomplish it. And somehow magic things happen when you do write it down that just keep it in your mind and in your subliminal mind all day, every day, and point your body and your actions and your decisions and your thoughts all toward accomplishing that goal, even though you're not aware of it, because you've written it down.
We wanted to provide quality skincare. We wanted to provide an opportunity that would create financial freedom for people, and then we wanted to be a force for good. After we formulated that business plan, we didn't really think much about the process. We just worked every day on taking baby steps to make this a reality.
The notion that many of us have is simply, well, I'd like a nice car and a boat and a safe place for my family to live and maybe a motor home. And, we kind of go on thinking about material things. Whereas if we were to sit down with ourselves and be honest and sit down with our spouse and talk about, we're going to get 60 more years here, or 30 more years here, or 10 more years here. What do we want our lives to stand for? What purpose will our lives have? Man, maybe a boat's on that list, and that's not an unholy thing to want nice things and be able to enjoy some of the good things in life together. But there's probably, on reflection, going to be more going on that list that will be more motivating to you to go out and do the hard things you have to do to be successful, than just a boat or a nice car.
The next step is to make a true decision to accomplish this goal. Remember, there's a huge difference between saying, I want or I hope to achieve this goal, and stating with complete conviction, I will achieve this goal.
I think the only reason people don't fully commit is sort of a fear of failure. You sort of lay it all on the line if you fully commit. And so you're afraid, what if I don't succeed? And now I'm a loser. But in fact, it's sort of self-fulfilling prophecy. If you don't fully commit and leave everything behind so that all your energy and your mind and your thoughts and feelings and decisions are all pointed in one direction, you can't kind of ride a horse. You're going to ride a horse, you're not going to ride a horse. We do often see people who try to come in with a minor commitment or partial commitment, and mostly they're doomed to failure, and they're the ones who have projected that failure. You have to exert all of your energy and your abilities and time and talents to accomplish anything, and that's true of Nu Skin especially. It takes a full commitment, or don't waste your time.
There are 3 important things to remember about establishing goals. First, be clear. Next, narrow your goals down to your top priorities. And finally, fully commit to your goal and direct all of your energy toward achieving it.
Most of us are pretty good at creating a vision, but we're not very good about creating true goals. A goal is a vision or a dream or an aspiration that's attached to a plan. It's not just that I want this thing that will drive success. Rather, it's I want this thing, and I'm going to take the time to plan out what it's going to take to get from here to there.
The third step in turning your dream into a reality is creating a focused plan. Such a plan will give you precise direction that enables you to gauge your progress and adjust your approach as obstacles and even new opportunities arise.
Success is very much driven by our ability to make appropriate goals and then to insightfully create action plans. That usually means consulting with other people, developing that action plan, and then finding the stamina to stick to that action plan until you see success.
When you're fully committed to a goal, and you have the energy necessary to make that, dream a reality or accomplish your goal, you can't just run as fast as you can run. You waste most of that energy. You have to sit down and plan and break your goal into small components, the baby steps that are going to drive you toward that goal, so that you've thought it through intelligently. You understand what motivates you. You understand what's going to get you to that goal, and you've written all those things down as the individual tasks to accomplish that goal, so that when you're running, all of your effort, your energy is pointed toward the goal line instead of just running in a random direction. So planning ends up being really, really critical.
To help you set and refine your goals, we encourage you to follow a simple 5-step plan. First, identify your goal and write it down. Next, identify the short and long-term benefits of achieving your goal. Then, identify the potential obstacles you may encounter while trying to reach your goal. Next, write down the solution for overcoming these obstacles. If you need help, talk with your upline leaders and others who may have already shared similar experiences. Finally, dwell on reaching your goal. Once your plan is clear and you can envision your success, begin thinking about it regularly and focus your energy toward achieving your goal. You have learned the importance of defining your goals and dreams, writing them down, focusing on a goal that really excites you, and developing a plan for reaching that goal. Next, we will help you adopt the mindset of a high achiever. It begins by believing in your ability to reach your goals.
At some point then you get to divert all of your attention and all of your energy and efforts, and every cell in your body gets pointed toward your goal, and then magic stuff happens that you can't explain. You achieve, greatness.
An important part of reaching a goal is believing with complete conviction that you will achieve it. High achievers understand success depends on their ability to develop a strong, positive belief system as they work toward fulfilling their dreams. Start by taking small action steps and steadily grow strong roots of confidence to help you focus on one simple and constant thought: expect to win.
Well, I don't think anything is too good to be true, because I do believe if you can believe it, you can achieve it. It's happened to me. It's happened to thousands and thousands of distributors around the world. I love hearing those stories of success, because there is no dream that you can't achieve if you work hard and not quit.
When we began, we believed we would succeed. Probably shouldn't have believed it, because there were a lot of obstacles we had to overcome that we didn't know about. But we really did expect to succeed. And I have seen that as a common denominator amongst people. It all can be defined as expectation. People who expect to succeed sooner or later seem to succeed.
When you concentrate on the positive, the outcome will be positive and those dreams will happen. It's almost like a magic formula.
It's been proven time and time again that your thoughts can dictate what you will or will not accomplish. In other words, if you think you will fail, chances are you will fail. But if you consistently envision a positive outcome, you will likely attain the success you desire. Perhaps U.S. entrepreneur and automaker Henry Ford said it best: whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right.
It's really true that our personalities, our very characters, are defined by what goes on inside of our head when we're not forced to think about anything at all.
When we first started Nu Skin, there were so many challenges. We had no money. We would run out of packaging. There was a 6 to 8 week lead time before people placed their order, paid for it, and got their product. Now, that environment was a very tough environment to grow the business, but somehow we succeeded. Blake and I would arrive at the office, I remember, and sitting in the car and not wanting to go in, pretending to be doing all sorts of things, because we knew when we had to go into the office and answer that phone, there would be trouble. There would be distributors wanting to know where the heck their product was. And can you imagine if we'd have quit? And that's how much belief we had that it would be successful. But don't think for a moment that there weren't times when we thought, are we crazy? Could this possibly happen? But then embracing each success along the way and realizing that we are one step closer to achieving our goals and dreams really made it easier to proceed every day. I've seen it countless times. The biggest change is when a distributor has that moment of clarification and belief, when they see that it is possible for them. So the sooner you can achieve that belief, the easier everything else becomes. The obstacles become smaller. The challenges become less significant because the belief overcomes those things. It's really that internal feeling of belief, faith, and confidence that this can happen for yourself. You can achieve the goals and dreams you've set for yourself. That is the defining moment.
As you begin any new venture, you will undoubtedly encounter people who want to criticize your actions and your belief that you can succeed. In fact, you may have your own critic in your head, a negative inner voice that tries to convince you that you're doomed for failure. It's very important that you tune out these critics and refuse to listen to them, because attitudes are contagious and negative attitudes can destroy your dreams.
Before we began, I went to one of my marketing professors and I explained, here's what we're going to do. And kind of laid it all out thinking, okay, I'm going to learn what an expert tells me. And he said, I don't think that'll work, but maybe you should sell it at swap meets. But be careful because they'll steal it out of the trunk of your car. So I tended to believe in us more than I believed in him.
Everybody who's accomplished anything worthwhile has had to walk through a phalanx of criticism and suggestions and kibitzing, and the person making that march has to be very thoughtful about how to deal with that kind of input. On the one hand, we should seek constructive criticism. We should be testing our thoughts and our dreams and our vision against the thoughts of people who care about us. But on the other hand, we've got to be able to see those visions for what they are. That people are advising us because they simply don't see the situation as clearly as we do. And then we've got to figure out how to find the courage to politely move on.
To help you maintain your strong belief system, align yourself with people who will support you in a positive way. Remember, the people you associate with can play a large role in how successful you will be.
If they don't view themselves as having potential, then they've been hanging out with the wrong group of people. So I do everything I could to get them in a room full of people who have a positive outlook on life so they could start to cultivate that within themselves.
When I very first started into Nu Skin, I had a lot of dream stealers. We had 1,000,001 people tell us that this company would never work, that you could buy skincare in a gas station, that you're not going to be successful. And if I had listened to them, and Blake had listened to them, and we'd listened to them on the same day, Nu Skin wouldn't have been here because we would have quit. Well, I have a favorite quote from Shakespeare, which is, "Our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt." Fear is always the thing that stops us short of our success. It's the fear that we won't succeed. And I really believe that that's why belief needs to play such a large part in it. And then overcoming any fear, any obstacle, anything along the way that keeps us from having that belief.
Believing that you can attain the success you desire is, without a doubt, one of the necessary elements to reaching your goals and fulfilling your dreams. A strong belief system is the gateway to achieving higher levels of success in your life. To help you increase your self-confidence, practice the following. Spend some time studying successful people. This can include reading books by or about them and talking with them if you know them personally. Often, you can learn from the experiences of successful people and apply them to your own life. Another important element in strengthening your belief system is to realize that if others can be successful in this business, so can you. Your past does not have to equal your future, and you can make new decisions today that will change your life in a positive way for years to come. Finally, focus on taking small daily actions that will put you closer to your goal. When you make a decision to do something, even if it is as simple as making a phone call, you can gain the confidence you need to take the next step and the next.
Human potential is an intriguing thing because there is no gauge on any of us. None of us know how much we can accomplish. And so it's fair to say that our limitations are self-limitations, that we all have capacity to do more than we understand, and we can only test the depths of our capacities by getting out there and engaging. There's no question in my mind that everyone can go further, climb higher, do more than they ever believed.
Once you've set your mind to do something and refused to let other ideas interfere with that decision, you've created a snowball effect. As long as you stay on that path, and you have to just say, this is going to work for me, I'm going to make it work for me, and anytime someone says it's not going to work for me, I'm just going to do it anyway.
The success steps we have discussed so far provide a great start for helping you achieve the success you envision. Determining your dreams, setting goals, and believing in your ability to reach those goals are vital components to fulfilling your dreams. But success requires action, daily activity that continually propels you toward your desired results. Taking action can be the difference between success and failure. The secret isn't simply in taking daily action. This is important, but your actions must be focused on doing what you need to accomplish your goals. Focusing on the right types of action is key. Determine what you need to accomplish and how you will do it.
Focus, of course, is necessary to be successful in anything. When we decide on a horse that we're going to ride, we need to give that horse the attention that it needs to get to the end of the journey. If we're constantly getting off and trying out other horses, we find ourselves at the end of the day having worked real hard, but we're still in the corral.
It's not enough just to believe it can happen. You have to take action. You have to take steps every single day to have this belief become a reality. And it's baby steps. It's talking to people. It's picking up the phone and making a new contact. And it's becoming involved in the process of success.
The big question that a new skin distributor tends to have is, what do I need to do next? What should I be doing right now? Most of the energy that we expend in trying to move our new skin businesses forward is wringing our hands wondering what we should be doing. And so the sooner we can come up with a to-do list, these are the things that I need to be doing. The next time I've got an hour to devote to the business, here are my priorities. I need to accomplish these several things, is huge, because it keeps us from being paralyzed by that indecision and that uncertainty about what I should be doing. That's true of any enterprise we go into. It's, what do you want, and what do I need to do right now to move me closer to that objective?
I believe that you should start your day thinking of a positive thought. And then from there, carry that energy. This whole world is made up of energy. So every action I take that is positive and toward my goal is pushing energy to the achievement of it. And every moment I spend concentrating on a negative, I'm actually drawing back from that achievement. So the more actions you take to achieve the goals that you want, the more energy you give something creates a wave that is going in the direction that you want to go. And we all know the force of a wave and how powerful a wave is. And I believe we can create our own energy wave of success.
Fear of failure is one of the biggest reasons people don't take the actions necessary to succeed. Fear is created in your mind. In fact, it's an illusion you create when you picture an unfortunate outcome. But you can turn fear into courage. First, shift your focus by changing the picture you are imagining. Instead of focusing on the worst-case scenario, imagine the best-case scenario.
The longer you stand at the edge of a cold pool, the more torturous that seems. And then you leap in and you say, whew, man, I wish I would have jumped in an hour ago. It's really quite delightful. And for me, it's that way with my fears as well. That the sitting and thinking about them, they're certainly much larger than once you actually face them. So if you're afraid to talk to people, go start talking to people with a goal of helping them. And the more you do it, the easier, the more you see that it's nothing to be afraid of. And I'll find if I stop doing it then for a month or something, it starts to seem scary again. So the easiest way to fend off fear is to attack it.
I would say that everyone out there is looking to have a conversation, for some friendliness, for someone that cares about them enough to share the good news that they are experiencing in their life. So don't be afraid to share it.
Human nature causes you to be fearful to walk through a door not knowing what's on the other side of that door. But as you push yourself to walk through more and more doors and learn that regardless of what's on the other side of that passage, you survive and can even come to excel, then it becomes less scary to go through that door the next time.
Next, take action anyway, even though you're afraid. Start with small action steps to help you build your confidence, and then tackle the bigger actions necessary to reach your goals.
In the early days of Nu Skin, there were many days when we wondered whether we were going to be able to keep the lights turned on the next day. And I have known personally what it is to have no money in the bank and have your income stream be about an hour long, where you just could not see to the end of the week.
We sat around and we theorized, and we set up an office in my sister's basement, and I bought a Wall Street Journal, and I went and sat at a desk, and I had a Wall Street Journal. I read it and stuff, and it was really cool, and the business was really fun. And then nothing happened, because I was just sitting in the basement reading a newspaper and writing down, noble goals and stuff. But zero happened, and zero would have ever happened. At some point, you just have to go to work. You just have to get out and start doing all the things that we talk about.
Taking action means you will experience challenges and disappointments as you pursue your goals. To keep your action plan on track, it's important that you keep a positive perspective and never listen to that doubting inner critic who wants to sabotage your efforts.
In order for an opportunity to be real, in order for a business to be real, there have to be obstacles to success in place that keep other people from getting there. So those who climb the mountain and who actually achieve the success aren't people who just accidentally discovered some obstacle-free course to success. It's rather people who faced obstacle after obstacle and then worked through them.
And there's just going to be things that are going to happen. And it's going to be, oh good, there's that thing that's supposed to happen, because I'm going to overcome it and build my business in spite of it.
I've seen lots and lots of people come through the business who have all the talent in the world and who would be great at this. But a month into it, they're distracted and off they go to the next thing, because it's just more fun. But there can be no success. It seems to me like everything else on earth requires the ability to just stay on track consistently, working, making your entrepreneurial endeavor come true.
We end this segment with one of the most critical components of success: never giving up. If you believe in yourself, if you have your why firmly embedded in your consciousness, if you have created a consistent plan of action, And if you refuse to let occasional setbacks deter you from reaching your goals, you can be successful.
When you ask yourself, am I going to have a business of this? Well, that's totally up to you. Are you going to quit? Are you going to stop when it gets tough? Or are you going to say to yourself, no, I'm going to persevere to the end. I'm going to make this opportunity work for me and my family. I'm going to make this happen for myself because you're the only one that can.
And so in a distributor's life, they're going to face those same kind of challenges. They're going to run into bumps. And they're not going to be surprising, but people are going to reject them. People are going to give them 50 reasons why it'll never work and so forth. And my encouragement would be that when that happens, they need to say, this is exactly why so many people don't succeed in this business. And recognizing that, I'm going to push through this challenge. I'm going to find answers to whatever the challenge of the day is and find myself in a higher, more successful ground as a result.
As a Nu Skin distributor, your success is dependent on the success of those within your organization. In other words, your ability to help them reach their goals and build teams of their own. Yes, you must determine your dream, set goals, believe in yourself, and take action. But you must also become a true leader who helps others fulfill their visions of success. When you unselfishly give to others, rewards will come back to you. These rewards are called boomerang blessings. When you recognize the power of this concept, your success can be nothing short of phenomenal.
This whole business has been designed to help you succeed only by helping other people succeed. That's how you succeed. And so I believe everybody's mindset every single morning should be, how can I find one more person to help today? And some days you're helping them with the products. Some days you're helping them with the opportunity. Sometimes you're just being a charitable person, helping feed a person in Africa who would die otherwise. But if you go find one person to help every single day, then magic happens to you in your life. I think that's just an eternal principle. You serve others, and that's how goodness comes back to you.
A couple of years ago, I was on a business trip in Atlanta and just happened to turn the TV on as I was getting dressed in the morning and was listening to CNN. And two stories came up. One of them was of a softball game. It was Little League. And the pitch comes in and hits him in the chest. The boy collapses to the ground and isn't breathing. Well, there happens to be a registered nurse sitting in the stand who runs out of the stand, runs around the shortstop or the backstop, out on the field and applied CPR and revived this boy and saved his life. So a wonderful human interest story that ends. The next story they told was there was a restaurant and somebody gagged on something in the restaurant and couldn't breathe. And there was pandemonium as everybody's trying to figure out what to do, and they didn't know, and word got to the back. Suddenly a guy runs out of the kitchen and comes back and applies the Heimlich maneuver and gets her air passage cleared and saves her life. Then they reveal that the woman who had gagged on the steak or whatever it was the nurse from the first story that had run out onto the field, and the guy that had come out of the kitchen was the Little League player, who now had grown up, but who had determined that he was going to learn CPR. He'd become a paramedic because he had experienced firsthand how important it is to have those skills. And just coincidence threw them together later on. So what that nurse didn't know is that when she was running out on the field, she was running to save her own life 10 years down the road. And that seems to be a parable of the existence of mankind. We all end up touching other people who go about their individual orbits and at some point in time come back in contact with us, and the good that we do, casting your bread upon the waters, comes back to bless your own life.
Building a successful Nu Skin business is similar to climbing a difficult mountain as part of a team. Each climber has a responsibility to help the person beneath him reach the next level.
The thing that kept us going is that we had a good partnership, and neither of us quit on the same day. There were days when we would come into the office and the product had fallen through the ceiling and we couldn't send it out because it was all damaged. And what do? That's a challenge, and we could have quit. We could have just said, this isn't going to happen. But on that same day, I walked up to Blake and goes, oh, looks like we need to move offices. So rather than taking that as a negative, it was sort of a step in a positive direction. So having that balance, and distributors have that as well, because they have uplines, they have sidelines, they have downlines, they have meetings where they see people meeting challenges. They hear of someone, oh, wait a minute, that's happened to me. And yet they're succeeding and they've overcome those things. So that's going to be possible for me. I've basically done every job at Nu Skin, because in the beginning it was just Blake and myself in the office. And we were Houdinis at overcoming challenges. But if we hadn't had that partnership, if we hadn't had a support system, now that Nu Skin is 26 years old, that support system is so much more developed, with customer support, with uplines, with trainings. So we should use those resources to create our confidence, to create our belief, and to overcome the challenges. Because once you see somebody else has had the same problem or obstacle, you could say, all right, well, they got over it, we can too.
When our people are out recruiting people to come into the business and buy and use and sell our products, one of the motivators that they have and that I have is that by doing that, we know that we are saving starving children, we are giving hope to people born with genetic diseases, EB in particular, that would otherwise be hopeless. And that fulfillment that comes from helping and serving other people is maybe the greatest motivator that any of us can have to do the difficult things that we need to do to succeed in business. Every person has a fundamental need and desire to be of service to other people. That's where self-worth comes from. Not from how much stuff you have, but how much good you're doing for other people around you.
Strong leadership is critical to your success and to the success of your team. You can become a good leader by learning from people who have already accomplished the success you desire and teaching others to duplicate your actions. Together, you and your team can reach your goals.
I view myself as just a really ordinary human being, but I've been able to line up my values and some eternal truths, I think, with my career in such a way that I look like I've accomplished something of value. Really, I'm just surrounded by people who are reaching their potential and make me look like I may be something spectacular, but I'm really just a very average person.
Leading by example is critical to your success and to the success of your team. Staying actively involved in the development of your organization and helping others fulfill their goals benefits them for a lifetime and beyond.
What I love about Nu Skin is its perpetuality. It's our ability to duplicate ourselves. And I like to think that I've done that with my children. I know Nu Skin's going to be around a long time. We have lofty goals that we still haven't achieved when we're constantly upping the bar of success that we see ourselves as a company. I've always wanted to make a difference in the world. And as a single person, you can do it. But when you have a force behind you, it's so much more powerful. And once you've satisfied your wants, you have the opportunity and the privilege of giving back, because I have seen more than once that the more you give, the more you get back. You want to be the kind of leader that other people want to follow. And in order to become that, you have to become that. It has to be part of your soul. It has to be part of your spirit.
An important part of being a strong leader is associating with people who share your values, goals, work ethic, and attitude. By associating with like-minded people, you will build a more effective, powerful team because you all share the same vision and are working toward the same goals.
When I was first approached about joining Nu Skin, I was a young lawyer just out of law school. I had a great job working for a litigation law firm, which is what I thought I wanted to do for a living. I had a neat office that had a desk and leather and oak and brass and all of the trappings of a successful professional setting. I was working with bright, capable people, and I was learning the craft. And Blake approached me one day about doing this, and it made absolutely no sense for me to leave the practice of law and come and become a lotion salesman. I was heavily invested, having climbed up a very difficult for me learning curve to gain a skill set that would let me make a living as a lawyer. And so it just made no sense. But ultimately, there was one thing that I couldn't escape. Blake was one of my best friends and a remarkable person, and his personality, his value set was very magnetic to me. I wanted to spend my life around people like that, people who think like he does, people who I can have confidence in, like I had even then in Blake, and I have more confidence in him today than I had then. And so, I guess I would say that the mentors that are available to you in this business can be just as valuable to any of you as the mentoring that I've received through the years by attaching myself to some remarkably good people.
I think you have to pick who you want to be. You have to look around for role models and figure out who seems to be living the life you want to live, and start to act like those people in every way that you can. And over time, you become that person that you want to be.
If there is someone that is speaking negatively, walk away. They sap your energy. There's no reason to listen to it. It's not wanting to shelter yourself from anything that could be negative. It's simply saying, I don't need it. I need to hear positive things. I don't need to hear so-and-so and so-and-so. I need positive information.
Blake is famous for many things. One of his famous quotes, though, is, "Don't sponsor unpleasant people." That statement has a lot of wisdom in it, because you can be pulled down by people who don't share your vision or who are difficult to be around. But they also rub off on you, and their unpleasantness and their negativity sometimes can be incorporated into your own personality. The good news is that personality traits are contagious, and by keeping yourself happy and vibrant and positive and looking forward, you can lift the people around you.
You can be the leader you want to be, a person who reaches your goals and also leads your entire team to incredible rewards. Remember, to be a strong and effective leader who builds a successful team, it's important to recognize boomerang blessings. Be a good leader and associate with like-minded people. Your dreams are within reach. Now, it's time to make them a reality.
You've just concluded the success formula, so let's review the 5 key success drivers. First, we talked about the importance of having a dream or idea, something that inspires you. But having a dream is not enough by itself. You need to specify what your goals are, and then commit yourself to those goals, putting a plan in place to reach them. You then need to believe you can and will attain them. This includes replacing fear with courage and beginning to take positive, focused action. As you act towards your dreams, you can and should lead others by your example with the power and conviction, so that you can attract the types of people that you want on your team. We hope that you have seen the vision and have made a true decision to apply these core principles in your life and in your business. Review them regularly. Take time to view the additional material as well. Teach these principles to your family and your business teams. As you teach them, you will come to better understand them. Now, before we close, we want to leave you with some final thoughts. First, celebrate the wins along the way. whether they are large or small. Second, make sure you give yourself and others a lot of compliments on your path to success. Third, understand that we all have fears, but never allow fears to stop you from taking action. Focus on the end result and allow that positive image to give you courage to continually take action. Lastly, keep smiling. If you see someone without a smile, give them yours. You're in a position to be a force for good and positively impact many lives around you. We wish you the greatest success in your business and in your life. Remember, your future is bright.